house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. What's up? I did not try and use the screen on the laptop as a touch screen today, so we are already doing great. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and I gotta say, yesterday was just like not a typical Monday in the Big Brother house. It was just insane. It was like a waffle Wednesday, but on a Monday. It was like these people are doing too much. It was too much. But we have a lot of fun things to discuss today and some not fun things. Yay! So our house guests of the day, we've got Daniel Fernandez and Teresa Lyons. Thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Hey guys, welcome. I see everybody coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know the Janelle seat, it really is off the charts. It really is. Before we get started, I also want to thank all of our super chatters from yesterday. You guys are also amazing, and we couldn't do it without you. We've got Czar, Kathleen Marie, NYC Demon Diva, M. Marie COJ. Thank you all. And we also have Logan Murphy Ward, Brant Phillips, Rachel McClung, Brianna Trostler. I'm sorry, I probably said that wrong. Trostler. Jessica No, Jim Miller, Julie Smith, and Nini twice. What? And also Steel for Real and Sheena123. Thank you all so much. Seriously, you guys are the best. And you make me smile. Okay, so let's get started because we have a lot to talk about. So when we left off yesterday, they had the power veto ceremony. Memphis did not use the power of veto. Oh my God, thank you guys. I'm going to thank all of you at the end just so I can make sure I get all of you together, but thank you. Okay, when we left off yesterday, they had the power veto ceremony and Memphis did not use the power veto. Saw that coming, right? Which means that David and Unicole remain up on the block. So at that point in time, it looked like allergies. It looked like David had the votes locked up. We're done. Let's just move on to next week. But it's never just like that easy, right? There's always going to be some clownery going on. So it almost seems like David and Unicole are playing a different game. And that is the game of who can get evicted first. Who can do more stupid things while they're campaigning to get evicted this week? And they're both winning. It's crazy. So David and Unicole both hit the campaign trail after the ceremony, and things start off pretty normal. David's talking to Enzo, and Enzo's like, hey, you got me, you got Tyler, we're all working together, yeah. So Unicole campaigned today in the comic bedroom, and she says, guess what, Day? David already told me that he has the votes to stay, which is true. He did tell her that the night before. And Unicole says, that scares me because it could mean there's a big alliance working together. And that's not good for us, right? And Unicole says, I'm not a part of that. Day says, I'm not a part of that either. But Unicole says, David might be. Ugh. So she says, it's better to keep me numbers-wise. I'm not as big of a comp beast as David, which is kind of funny that I think she just used the wrong words here because David has won no competitions. He has won no competitions in either season. Nicole at least won some comps last season, right? So, I mean, she has won stuff. But I think what she means to say is that David is more of a physical threat than her. So anyway, she's like, also, it shouldn't matter, but a girl has already gone home. So if you lose another one, I don't know. The guys could all be working together. We'll see what happens. So she tells Day, no matter what, do what's best for your game. So then Unicole's asking Day if she and Bailey are going to vote together. And Day is downplaying her relationship with Bailey, of course. Everybody knows at this point that they're a duo, right? But she's trying to downplay it. So she's like, I don't know what Bailey's going to do. So Day says, I'm going to be honest with you. I just wouldn't feel right voting David out. She says, I want you here, but I cannot personally vote David out. I think she even said, like, if you can get all the other votes to stay, that's great, but like I cannot be a part of that vote. So she says that she and Kaser have already argued about it, which is true. She did already discuss this with Janelle and Kaser separately, and her and Kaser kind of got into it. And I'm wondering, is Unicole going to pick up on this? That means that Kaser was campaigning to keep her. It's not like some ruse that they're trying to keep up. So Unicole says, oh, I understand, like, if you and David are friends, like, that's fine. And Day says, no, he's not my friend. Like, that's the thing. This is not anything to do with emotions or feelings. It's not a friendship thing. She says it has everything to do with the fact that there has never been an African-American winner. And there's never been 3 of us in here at the same time. So Unicole's like, oh, like, I get that. She's saying, I just hope that if you do that, that the favor is returned down the line. You know, she's saying, like, if you're in this same situation, I hope that David is going to do the same thing for you and vote to keep you. She says David might not have the same mentality, and he might be with that big alliance that's supposedly voting to keep him. So Day says, yeah, I've definitely been thinking about that. I'm not sure if it would be reciprocated by David. So it's definitely something on her mind. So then Unicole says, I understand where you're coming from, but I want you to make sure that you're making a decision that will ultimately help you in the game. So she's saying, you're thinking you want African Americans to make it far and to win. Maybe that winner should be you. So you got to ask yourself, how are you going to get there? Is this the best thing for you game-wise? And Day says, you're right. You know, I appreciate it. You've given me a lot more to think about. Okay. So then we'll come back to that later. But anyway, Unicole chats with Nicole F on the hammock. Oh boy, here we go. Like, these two together, it's just a lot. Okay, so Unicole asks Nicole F. Or as I love Jolene Lunzer's nickname for Nicole F. She calls her Pharmacole. So Unicole asks Pharmacole, how are you feeling about everything? And Nicole F says, I've heard so many things. I heard that you and Janelle were talking about getting rid of me. Is that true? So Unicole says, Janelle has said that. Yes. Janelle was trying to get you backdoored this week. Wow. She was doing that to try and save you. But okay, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and you're going to throw Janelle under the bus. So that's what you're going to do. Okay. So Unicole says, I really feel like Janelle set me up this week. And Nicole F is like, but for what? I don't get it. Like, why would she do that? Because you're saying that, like, she set you up to get nominated, but now she's, like, trying to get votes for you to stay. Like, it's not adding up. Yeah, because Unicole is freaking, and Kevin are freaking twisting this thing to make it seem like everything Janelle does is against Unicole. It just doesn't make sense because that's not what's actually happening. So Unicole says, oh, Janelle would say stuff to me, and then, like, stuff like, oh, I think that Nicole F should be backdoored this week. And then she would go around the house and say, we had a conversation implying that Unicole said those things, but, like, she did agree with them, right? So Unicole says, I don't want to cause an argument or a fight, but if you wanted to say something to Janelle, I have receipts and factual things to blow up her game. Oh, geez. Okay, like, do you have a secret cell phone we don't know about? Because receipts mean you have, like, physical copies of something. I don't think a receipt would be like, I was there and she said this, because why would anyone believe that? If it's not, like, hard evidence. I feel like she's missing the concept of receipts here, but that's just me. So Unicole says, Janelle just doesn't bother with me much now that I'm up on the block. You know, she's only trying to, like, save you. So then Nicole F asks, is Janelle going to campaign for you? And Unicole says, Janelle's been saying that she wants me to stay, but I don't know if I can trust that. So then Nicole asks, do you know which way you're leaning with your vote? And Nicole says, I don't know. Like, I haven't talked to anyone yet, but I like you. I think you're a good girl. And I feel better about you now that you've opened up. I feel terrible that you're in this position this week. Yeah, now that you, Nicole, has spilled, you feel better about her. So anyway, Nicole, just to round out this campaign, is like, I'm not coming after you. I'm not a competition beast. If I go, that's going to be another girl going. And is that really what you want? Honestly, Nicole F is not the person to make that case to, because she doesn't care about that. But anyway, Nicole asks for one more piece of information. She's like, why does Janelle not like me? She wants to know, is this like a game thing? Is this like a personal thing? And Nicole confirms it's from stuff that happened outside of the house. Not anything game related here. And she basically said she just generally doesn't like you. Damn. Okay. So then, woo! Let's change gears a little bit. Danny is trying to smooth things over with Day in the photo bedroom. So for some context here, if you guys missed yesterday's spoiler, Day made up a lie about Tyler approaching her to start an alliance. And Danny went and brought that up with Tyler, and Tyler was pissed. He was like, I did not go today and try to start an alliance. So now there's like all sorts of trust issues going on here, because Tyler doesn't trust Day or Danny. He feels like they're both scheming, which they are. Day knows that Danny spilled info to Tyler, and Danny knows that Day lied about that. She figured that out. So everyone is just like, about, within these three. So Danny tells Day, you're my freaking girl. I know something's wrong. Like, I know that there's something going on here. So I don't know if it was the Tyler situation or like if I did anything, just like talk to me. Yeah. So anyway, Day says, okay, if I'm being real, and I hope this is not gonna like kick me in the ass, I want to be able to have conversations with you without feeling like you're going to run back and tell Cody. So Danny says, well, like, we talk a little and stuff, like her and Cody talk a little, but she says, I think that you think that me and Cody are way closer than we actually are. Okay, Danny. So Day brings up this conversation that Bailey had with Danny. I guess they were saying that Day is kind of like getting in her own head and stuff like that. So then it seemed today like Danny went and told Cody about it, because Cody came up to her like 10 minutes later and was trying to clear things up with her. So yeah, she felt like not great about that. And Danny says, that wasn't me. Like, Bailey had the same exact conversation with Cody. I mean, it's possible, but let's be real. Danny reports everything back to Cody. Somebody could like fart and Danny will report that back to Cody. For real. So Danny's like, I don't know if Janelle told you something, but I've heard that my name is coming out of her mouth. The Janelle-y! Oh my God. So yes, Janelle has been saying your name, Danny, because she has been telling people that she's not going to go after you, even though she knows that you're working with Nicole F., Tyler, and Cody. Damn. Okay, so anyway, Day brings up, well, I heard that you approached Janelle about joining an alliance with like you, Nicole F., Cody, Tyler, and Danny's like, oh, I heard about that too. Yeah, from your own mouth. But Danny, Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch. Danny says, my family, I never did that. Oh, yikes, because she totally did. She totally went to Janelle and was like, be in this alliance with us four and case her. So then Danny starts babbling about how much the blatant, and she said blatant, lies piss her off. It's just a lot, guys. It's a lot. So they agree that they're going to talk about things more moving forward. Like if either of them hears something about the other, like they're going to approach each other about it. This is just like a classic Big Brother conversation. And I'd say 80% of the time it's bullshit. And this time is not different. Okay. So Danny says today, just don't get in your own head. Okay. That's what messes people up in this game. All right. I gotta say, like, Danny and Day are both scheming hardcore. So it's just kind of funny when they have these like cleanup conversations. All right. So then Janelle was in the key bedroom with Kaser. And this was like seeing Bigfoot out in the wilderness. Like this was insane because Janelle was crying over Unicole. I repeat, Janelle was crying. When have we seen Janelle cry? What? Okay, so she says, I should have protected her. She's talking about Unicole. And Kaser's like, all right, you can't blame yourself here. It's not like we put her up on the block. Memphis didn't listen to us. We didn't know what he was going to do. Like, we didn't even know that she was going up. And when we tried to save her and get the votes for her, people don't even want to vote for her. So what are we supposed to do about that? We've literally had no say in any of this. Damn. So Janelle says that Unicole was second guessing their friendship, and that's what hurts her the most. She asked Janelle if everything that she told her was true. So Janelle says that makes me really sad. It makes me feel bad. And Nicole asked her if she should be embarrassed when she gets out of the house. Oh shit, Busy Blue's here. What's up, Busy Blue? Sorry, guys. I meant to include Busy Blue in my shoutouts yesterday for all the other Big Brother channels. And I felt like such an idiot after I was done. So I just want to say hey to Busy Blue real quick. Hey to Jolene Lunzer. Hey to Honestly Honecker, Nerdtainment, TV Talks with Tom, Carter Matt. I just love all of you guys, and I love all your work, and I just want to direct everyone towards you. If you're not already following them, they put out great BB content. Okay, back to Janelle crying. Bigfoot in the woods. Okay, so Unicole's asking, like, if she should feel embarrassed when she gets out of the house. Yeah, but, like, not because Janelle was, like, going around behind your back. It's just because you had really bad reads this season and it's hard to watch. Ugh. So seriously though, like I hope people are going to be nice to Unicole when she gets out of the house, because it just makes me so sad when people like feel the need to hate on these house guests like after the game's over. It's like, let them live their lives. And especially Unicole, because I feel like she really does mean well, but she's gone down a bad path this season, and man, yeah. So anyway, Kaser and Janelle were both talking about how they were watching last season, and they were like, if there's ever another all-star season, like I definitely want to work with Unicole, like she's so great. And Kaser is saying, moving forward, like we really need to make sure we are adapting in this game. That's how you survive. So Kaser says we can still try and save Unicole this week, but if it's just not going to happen, we need to just move on. You know, that's the situation here. We can't dwell on this and ruin our own games over it. That's true. Okay, so then, meanwhile, Unicole is continuing to talk shit about Janelle and Kaser. Uh-oh. So she's campaigning to Enzo, and she's saying that it's hurting her game to be associated with them, and they're not even looking out for her. She says they didn't fight for me, they effed me over, but she says I gotta be careful what I say about them because I do need their votes. Oh my god. So then Enzo, his response to all this, he's like going along with it, but he's also saying that Unicole he feels like she's better for his game. He had this idea that they could both be moles and like meet up and share all their information together. Unimole! But he says that he's going to talk to Memphis, see what he wants. He's also like, oh, my sister-in-law loves you, and she told me that I have to like work with you and stuff. So, he's acting like he would be open to keeping Unical, but at the same time, Enzo already told David that he's keeping him. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure Enzo is going to do whatever everybody else is doing. All right. So David campaigns to Janelle in the storage room. Guys, this is getting messy now. It's getting really messy. So Janelle says, I know you really want to stay in this house. I really want you and Unical both to stay. So she asks David, what is your game plan moving forward? And David says, I feel like people would see me as someone to go after Memphis. This was such a weird way to phrase his game plan. Like, I would feel much more confident. Like, there's so much wrong with this, but let me just first say, I would feel much more confident if someone told me, like, my game plan is blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go after blah, blah, blah. But instead, he's saying people would see me as someone who would go after Memphis. That's a little sketchy. But also on another level, Janelle is like trying to work with Memphis, and everybody thinks that Janelle is working with Memphis. So why would you say to Janelle, people are going to think I'm going to target Memphis? It's not adding up. It doesn't make sense. So Janelle's like, so, okay, you're targeting Memphis. Where do I fall into that game plan? And David says, well, you're associated with Memphis. So Janelle's like, yeah, I'm not necessarily working with him, though. So she says, I think he just gave me a free pass this week because I'm friends with Keisha, and, like, you know, it's like a reward for what happened last week. You know, she was trying to keep Keisha around. So Janelle's asking, if I vote to keep you, are you going to, like, keep me safe for a week or something? And David is like, yeah, I respect you in the game. You're like a legend in here, whatever. So the whole thing was just like very not great for David. So then Janelle's telling David, all right, I think you need to really think about who's working against you. Like, yes, Memphis put you up on the block. And I know it seems like targeting Memphis is the thing to do. But sometimes when people put ideas in your head, maybe they have their own agenda too. That is true. I mean, right? Like, who's telling David to target Memphis? But at the same time, Janelle is also missing here that Memphis is working with that whole crew, Tyler, Cody, Danny, and Nicole F. So, like, there's some stuff there that she's missing. But anyway, Janelle is like, you need to question why people are pressing you to do certain things. I don't think that group would be telling him to put up Memphis. I think they would be telling him, you need to go after Janelle and Kaser. So, yeah. But anyway, not a great conversation, and it's going to come back to bite him a bit. So then Unical and Kevin were strategizing in the key bedroom. So Unical says, if I can get Kevin, Janelle, Kaser, Bailey, Ian, and Christmas, that is 6 votes. That would be enough for a tie. But, like, she's not going to get Christmas because Christmas is working with Memphis's crew. But everybody seems to think that Christmas is this, like, lone wolf that can be pulled in. So, Unical, I don't think she's going to get Ian either, but, like, I don't know. So, anyway, excuse me. Unical is now considering blowing up Janelle and Kaser's games. She wants to tell people that they are her targets so that they'll want to keep her. But she's also, like, worried that if she does that, she might lose Christmas and Ian's votes. And she's saying, I need those votes. So I guess I'm just going to have to play nice. So then, funnily enough, Janelle comes in and she's talking to them for a bit, and she's trying to give Unicole some game advice and telling her, like, I don't think you should be like hanging out in your bed right now. People are going to try and use that against you. She was also saying, you should keep working on Day and Christmas. Like, you really need to lock down those votes. So after Janelle leaves the room, Unicole and Kevin start discussing Day's reason for wanting to keep David. Oh boy. This was just like an all-around gross conversation. I was not feeling this, but Kevin says he does not agree with Day's reasons for wanting to keep David. Unicole is frustrated because she says Kevin, and Day are supposed to be working together as a three. She says, I was with her first. This sounds like a country breakup song. But anyway, she's saying I was with Day first, but like she doesn't even realize that Day also has a final three deal with David and Bailey. So Kevin says, I don't think that David is getting targeted because of his race. But he's missing the point right now. That's not what Day is saying. Day is not saying that she's voting to keep David because she feels like there's an injustice going on here and David's being targeted because of his race. That's not what she's saying. Day is saying that there are only 3 African Americans in this season, and that's like a luxury compared to past seasons, right? Like, we never get that. So she is saying it would not feel right for her to vote him out. Like, she wants them to have the best chance possible to have one of them win. And I can't blame her for that. I think that's, good for her. That's fine. So Unicole says, and this is just like, not good, but Unicole says, if I was an African American woman, I would think about doing what's best for my game. No, 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 no. You could not possibly know what it's like to be an African American woman, and you could not possibly know what you would be thinking if you were, right? So I just feel like I think Unicole is getting, like, I mean, obviously she wants to stay, and I can't blame her for that, but like, this is not it. Like, no. So Kevin says what Day is doing is voting based on race, and Unicole agrees and says that's basically like her voting me out because I'm not African American. No. Okay. So anyway, moving on because I just can't. Ian and Casey have a game chat in the backyard. And this was interesting and exciting considering how much bullshit we've been putting up with this week. So Casey's asking Ian, what's your plan? He's asking Ian, are you just hoping that Nicole F is going to keep you safe with her alliance until the end? Like, what are you doing here? And Ian says, yeah, I know. Like, I really got to figure out what I'm going to do. Right? So then Kaser says that their brains would be a lot more interesting and powerful together than they would be apart. And Ian agrees, and so do I. I love it. So they discuss how there needs to be like some sort of shakeup that will break up the core group of Danny, Nicole F. I was going to say Toby. That's not a person in this game. Tyler and Cody. Just seeing their 2 names next to each other. Tyler and Cody. So they want to break up that group so that people in that group will reshuffle into other alliances. And then they're thinking the way to do this would be to take out Tyler and or Cody. So Kaser says that he thinks Danny and Nicole F would be willing to find another home with a different alliance. He really likes Nicole F. He says that the other side just got her first. Do you though, Kaser? Do you like Nicole F? I don't know about that. So anyway, Ian gives Kaser the heads up, like, you and Janie better perform on Thursday. And he wasn't saying it in a threatening way. It was like in a warning way, as in like, you guys are going to be in trouble if one of you doesn't win HOH. And Kaser's like, oh, I am well aware. I know. So they both agree they would like to work together. Yes. Kaser says that Janelle would like to work with him too. Wow. I don't think Ian is excited about working together with Janelle. I think he's thinking Janelle is inevitably going to be taken out soon, probably, right? So he's planning on trying to get in with Kaser once Janelle is gone. But he's like, yeah, Janelle. Uh-huh. So then they're talking about their big brains. They feel like they're equals. They saw each other when they came into the house and they're like, I want to work with him because he's on my level. Okay. And Kaser says, look, you're going to want huge targets like me and Janelle in front of you. And Ian's like, I know. And Ian was saying, like, I just want to get to like the second half of this game. And Kaser's like, I can help you do that. So they say they're going to talk more about it. I'm excited. All right. Not now. So then hopefully my mom's going to take care of that. So then Day and Bailey have a check-in on the Sky Bridge. Okay. Day and Bailey have a check-in on the Sky Bridge. They're talking about the vote. And they're also talking about some of the dumb game stuff that David has been doing. Bailey shares how David was campaigning to Janelle, and he told her that he would target Memphis if he were to win HOH. And she's like, what the hell is he doing? Like, obviously, Janelle is associated with Memphis, so, like, why would you say that? Right? We don't have time for that. So Day is also saying she thought it was dumb when David told Unicole that when she was at her lowest emotionally, that he has the votes to stay. That is like a punch in the face, right? So they've also noticed that David has been kissing up to Memphis. They don't feel good about that. And Day tells Bailey about Unicole's campaigning. She says, you know what? Unicole's working hard and she's making some good points here. Day says, I'm not sure if David would reciprocate and save one of us if the roles were reversed. And Bailey agrees. She's like, I don't know. I can't confidently say that. So Day says she believes there is a boys' alliance and she doesn't know if David's part of it, which is interesting because there is not really a boys' alliance. I mean, there are boys that are working together with no girls, but there isn't like a boys' alliance or a guys' alliance, a men's alliance, if you will. So, anyway, Bailey and David is not a part of some like big guys' alliance. So anyway, Bailey wonders, would he warn us if this like supposed guys' alliance started targeting us? They're not sure, and they're not really sure what to do. Should they keep David? Should they keep Unicole? They're not even sure if their votes would be enough to save Unicole if they did vote to keep her. All right. So then, I mean, that's a good point, right? Imagine they do vote for Unicole to stay and she still doesn't have enough votes and they voted David out. Like, that would really blow. So Cody and Danny check in the photo bedroom, and it seems like Danny is trying to say, without actually saying the words out loud, that she got warned about something in the DR, about something that she said. So a lot of people online are speculating it's probably about her saying that Ian is using his autism to get further in the game, which is so messed up. So yeah, it seemed like Danny didn't know what exactly she was being warned about. And she was kind of like freaking out about it. But I guess they told her, like, you need to watch what you say. So yeah. Then she starts telling Cody about the conversation that she had earlier with Day. So just a reminder, the conversation that she's referring to is the one when Day was saying that she was upset that Danny tells Cody everything. So now Danny is telling Cody about this conversation, naturally. Again, anybody farts, Danny's telling Cody about it. So Danny says that Day is really good at diverting blame. She flipped it on me like I did something sketchy. I mean, Danny's not wrong here. Like, Day did make up that lie about Tyler approaching her and trying to set up an alliance, right? But they're both being shady. Danny and Day are both being shady. So Cody and Danny agree they are done sharing stuff with Day. They're over it. They're all supposed to be an alliance, and Day is freaking out because Danny went and told Cody something that Bailey said. Okay. So Danny says she's acting like I'm not supposed to be talking to you because I'm supposed to be like closer to her within the alliance. But it's funny because I feel like Danny would be freaking out if the same thing happened to her and Day was the one that did that. So, I mean, they're all hypocrites. I say this all the time. They're all hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. That's Big Brother. So then they were also talking about this like fake alliance that they're supposed to be setting up with Cody, Danny, Day, Bailey, Enzo, and Tyler. It's pretty much BS. I'm pretty sure they're just trying to make sure that they're keeping Day and Bailey reeled in so that they won't go with Janelle and Casey. It's another fake alliance. They agree that they're sick of it. And you know what? You know how tired we are? We are sick and tired of it. Oh my God. Okay, so then we'll come back to that alliance. But Day and David have a game chat in the comic bedroom. And again, this is just like a major F up on David's campaign. So Day says that Casey, my nose is so itchy. Oh my God. So Day says that Casey asked her if David is in a guy's alliance. So he doesn't really like answer at first. And then Day is like, are you? And David says, yes. What the F? Oh my God. Why is he saying that? And like, what is he even talking about? So I'm assuming he is referring to his alliance with like Tyler and Enzo. Really? So I think he's missing the point here. Day meant like more of a many guys alliance, not just like 2 or 3. So this was like really weird. I don't know. I feel like this is an example of maybe David not understanding like the history and conventions of Big Brother and like a guy's alliance or a girl's alliance. I feel like he's missing the point here. So he's like, yeah, I'm in a guy's alliance. He says he's putting safeguards in place. So this gets even weirder because David then basically tells Day, don't campaign too much for me, or we might end up getting nominated together down the road. So then Day is trying to find out like who else is in this guy's alliance, and he won't answer. And she feels like he's not being open or candid with her. So David says, I'm protecting you and Bailey. Like, that's all you need to know. So David is now saying, like, I think there's something like that, like a big guy's alliance, but I'm not like truly a part of it. So now Day feels like he's not being honest. She's like, goodbye, David. It's not good. So after this conversation, David is going, he's like walking by Bailey and he tells her, I know that Day is looking out for me, but I think she needs to calm down a bit. Oh, wow. So then Day and Bailey chat and Day says, David is in a boys' alliance. I like how they're calling it a boys' alliance because I feel like the girls are always being referred to as like a girls' alliance instead of like a women's alliance. So it's funny now to hear boys' alliance, right? Okay, so anyway, she says David is in a boys' alliance and he wouldn't say who else was in it. So that was super, super sketchy. So Day says, I think I might have messed up because I dropped Casey's name in that conversation. I said that Casey was the one that asked me if David is in a boys' alliance. And now like he might go and ask Casey about it. And then Casey might like question me and be like, why are you giving out information? So yeah, she probably shouldn't have said Casey's name. But anyway, Bailey also shares what David said to her about Day needing to chill out. And Bailey asks, why are we keeping him? And Day says, I'm done. And then the feed's cut. Oh my God. Okay, so this is getting wild. But anyway, David goes to the storage room with Tyler a few minutes later, and he's like, okay, they're on to something. Casey was asking Day if I'm in an all-boys alliance, and Tyler says, wow. So obviously Bailey and Day are working with Janelle and Kaser, and they might vote you out. You know, those might be 2 votes that you think you have, but you don't. And David's like, no, like, I think I have them. So then Tyler is asking David, what did you tell Day when she asked you about the Guys Alliance? And David said, I told her I'm protecting her and Bay. He failed to mention that he admitted to being in a Guys Alliance. Oh my God. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Janelle and Kaser are talking in the key bedroom. Janelle is sharing how bad David's campaign pitch was to her. He told me that he's targeting Memphis and that I'm associated with him. And she's like, we need to tell Memphis about this just in case it's a tied vote and he is breaking the tie. You know, we need to make sure that he's going to take out David because David is obviously coming after us. You know, he said he's going to go for Memphis, and then say he does and Memphis wins the power veto. Who's he going to go after then? It's going to be me and you. So Kaser was telling Janelle about how well the chat went with Ian, and eventually Day joined them. They tell her about David's horrible pitch, which she's already heard from Bailey, but she's acting surprised about it. And Kaser says, this is really going to F up our games. He is gunning for us. So he's saying, like, the longer we wait to solidify an alliance, the more effed we are going to be. So then Christmas joins them, and they just keep talking about this alliance because this alliance that they're proposing is supposed to be Janelle, Kaser, Day, Bailey, and Christmas, right? So they don't realize that Christmas is with Memphis in them. So Christmas joins them, and Kaser's like, we need to lock down this alliance. We need to start building something strong enough to counter what's already going on the other side. And Christmas is just sitting there like, because she's in that other side, she knows. So Kaser says he's not going to play the outcast game where we just can't get our shit together and they're laughing at us on the other side, like behind the scenes. And Day is telling him, like, I need more time to think about it. You know what my issue is. I can't decide yet if I'm going to vote for David to stay or not. And she leaves to go. I think she was going to go shower or something. So then Janelle and Kaser make their pitch to Christmas. And Christmas is acting like she's on board. You know she's just going to go and bring this information back to the other side. Duh. So it just, like, hurts to watch it play out. But Bailey talks to Janelle and Kaser next. And she says, I got some tea for you guys. I got some tea. David told me that Memphis told him he would break a tie in his favor. Uh-oh, because Memphis has been telling Janelle and Kaser that he would break a tie to save Nicole. So they're like, what's going on here? Janelle and Kaser are just hoping that David is just saying that so that he'll get the votes, because people will be like, oh, Memphis is on board, so, you know, I feel good about keeping David. So then Kaser, he's still feeling just, like, really fired up about this alliance that they're putting together. He's really excited about it. He says, I didn't come here to be an outcast. I'm going to be a part of the core group that's running shit. They called me for a reason, and I'm going to F this shit up, starting with Cody. Woo! I'm excited about this, and I wish that it was a possibility, but the fact that they don't actually have Christmas is really gonna, like, slam this whole thing to a halt. Like, it can't happen. They don't have the numbers. But I really enjoy Kaser's enthusiasm. It's very exciting. So maybe they could get something together next week. I don't know, but Christmas is just gonna ruin it. So later, of course, Christmas fills in Nicole F. and Tyler on the Janelle and Kaser alliance pitch. And they feel like Janelle and Kaser are also trying to recruit Ian. They saw Ian talking to Kaser for a while. It seemed like he was maybe getting somewhere. So Christmas is telling Nicole, you need to pull Ian over to our side. You know, do what you got to do. Get it done. So Nicole F. does end up checking in with Ian later, and she's like, did Janelle and Kaser approach you about, like, joining an alliance? And Ian's like, they don't have a set alliance yet. But yes, of course, they approached me about working together. So then, this is interesting, guys. Nicole F makes a critical error here because she tells Ian, you should join our side of the house. So then Ian's like, okay, when you say join, what do you mean by that? Because it sounds like it already exists. And this is something that came up in Ian's conversation with Kaser. Kaser was like, are you sure you're like Nicole's number one? Because, you're comparing yourself and Nicole to me and Janelle, but Janelle would never be in an alliance without me. Like, it just wouldn't happen like that. And it sounds like Nicole F is in alliances without you, which is very true. But Ian was like, oh, I don't think there's anything solid already. But now he's seeing like, oh shit, there's something solid. So I'm hoping he's going to keep this in mind. But Nicole's like, oh, we don't have anything official yet. Sure. So then Nicole is crabbing about how Janelle is targeting her, and Janelle is calling her a bitch. And yes, she really spelled it out like that. So Janelle, sorry, I thought that said Jan. Ian says, no, Janelle and Kaser are going to target the boys first. They're not going after you right now. And Nicole F is just insisting, like, no, they're targeting me. I know, like, it's done. I know what they're doing. So Ian's like, okay, well, if Janelle or Kaser win HOH, you're going to have to put aside whatever is going on between you and Janelle and, like, jump to the other side. And Nicole's like, I'm not going to kiss their butts, and I'm not going to join their side. And Ian's like, all right, well, you don't have to do that, but you can't make a lot of noise, because maybe, just maybe, we can keep ourselves off the block if Janelle or Kaser win HOH. And he was also saying, again, it's probably, Janelle's probably not going to be around for that long. Everyone's going after her basically at this point. So maybe we can pick up Kaser after Janelle goes. And of course, Nicole F's like, oh, I love that. Yes. Wonderful. All right. Another quick event from last night. I'm not even going to spend that much time on this because it's like bullshit, but the new fake alliance was solidified. Enzo, Cody, Tyler, Day, Bay, Danny. I think they're calling themselves the Slick Six. They did a 6-way pinky swear. They all agree that they're going to keep David this week. And I'm sure like that part is probably true. I'm sure they're all voting to keep David probably. But like this alliance is a sham. Okay? This alliance is BS. Again, they're just trying to make sure that Day and Bailey are not going to go over to Janelle and Kaser. All right. So it was quite a night. But today, it looks like David, even after all that mess, David still has the votes right now to stay. It seems like Bailey and Day are saying they're going to vote to keep David. Of course, we know that Christmas is solidly with Memphis and co. So it's looking like David at this point has the votes. But Nicole, she's continuing on her campaign trail. It's a dirty campaign. She's continuing to trash Janelle and Kaser. And she's also saying if she does not have the votes locked in by Wednesday night or Thursday morning for her to stay, she's going to hold a house meeting and she is going to throw Janelle and Kaser under the bus hard and tell everybody that they're her targets. Oh boy, that's going to be a lot. So do you guys think she's actually going to follow through with that? Because that's going to be crazy. But hey, we still have 2 days left until the eviction. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, this could flip-flop back and forth. Oh my goodness.
Two
Okay.
questions. Two things you have to say.
Okay. This could flip-flop back and forth so many times. Who knows what's going to happen? Let me just write down too before I miss this. You guys, thank you so much. Okay, I'm a slow writer.
Oh, you got another one.
I'm a messy, slow writer. So
popular, daughter.
You guys are so sweet. I want to thank you all so much. Everybody's saying what's up to you.
Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, hi.
Yeah. I want to thank you all so much for watching and hanging out. I've been really loving these lives. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been fun.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying them too. So I want to thank all of our super chatters for today. And of course, I'm going to thank you all tomorrow at the beginning of tomorrow's video. But okay, we've got Sam Joven. Thank you. Mike D. Thank you. Multiple times. Whoa.
He wants to know if you would answer questions at the end of the chat. And that's a yes.
Yeah,
super chat questions.
Yeah, of course, for sure. I would love to chat with you guys more. I wish I could for a while, but like it's already 8:00 and we got other stuff going on, and I don't want to keep you all here for hours. But definitely, like on days when there's like shorter spoilers, like I'd love to hang out for a little bit. But also I want to thank Andy C. Oh, Andy C is on here multiple times too. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say hello to her son. Is it one son or two sons?
One.
Oh, Jack Craig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack Craig.
Hello. Thank you so much for watching. I'll keep you here for hours. We've got Lynn Hurst. Thank you. Sonia Gigi. Thank you. Book and Quirks. Thank you so much.
Cool name.
That is a cool name. I love books and I love quirks.
Are you quirky?
Yes. I want to thank VB. Thank you to Nicole Diop. I hope I said that right.
They wanted to know, what's it going to take to get you on the show? All you're going to have to email the casting director.
I don't know about that. I think they would be like, you're annoying. Like, she's not going to be on.
Well, I mean, it's not up to you.
Yeah, I know. I've tried out multiple times in the past and I'm boring. So I don't think they want me.
You even made it to the interview.
Stop.
Nothing.
But anyway, thank you so much. Also, Annie Z, thank you. Anita Starr, multiple times. Again, thank you. You are so sweet. We've got S. Dean. Thank you so much. Morris, thank you so much. Morris, keeping that chat going.
Yeah.
Running that chat.
Chat
We've got Andy C. Oh, yeah. Andy C. multiple times. Dana Fulmore, thank you. You're great. Busy Blue.
She's going to go cry now because she's not worthy.
Yeah, right? For real. You guys, seriously, you're the best. And again, I want to shout out all of my fellow BB YouTubers who do such great work. I know Jolene is probably going to be live tonight, right? Jolene's usually live on Tuesdays.
Yes.
With Miranda, probably.
Forgot somebody yesterday and today. Metro D.
Oh, Metro D. Yes. What's up? So Jolene, Miranda, Carter Matt, Busy Blue, Metro D.
Miranda.
Yeah, I said Miranda. Who am I missing? Nerdtainment. TV Talks with Tom. Like, you're all so great. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you watch Rob Has a Podcast, but I mean, do they need help? No, I'm just kidding. They're like the biggest podcasters. I'm talking about all of us little guys. But seriously, thank you all so much. And make sure you check everybody out if you're looking for more BB content.
It's all out there. Just
all
go
out
find
there.
it.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next time. And let us know what you think in the comments. So we'll see you all then. And until then, much love.